Greetings everyone, Switched Up here. I decided to do a theater, not theater video. I'm going to talk about the upcoming movie, Frozen 2. And you might get warned. This video might contain spoilers about the upcoming video, about the movie itself. So you have been warned. Since the first movie came out 6 years ago, that video took the world with storm. And only a couple of years ago, I think it was a year ago, they announced to be a sequel to Frozen. And this time, and also this is the only information that I know for sure that we have found. But first, before I go to the information I found, I will talk more about Elsa and her powers. Since in the first movie, the troll grandfather, I think the eldest of trolls, asked the king how Elsa got her powers, if she was cursed or born with. And her father said that she was born with these powers. So the question had to be answered as, why was she born with those powers? And if she was born with those type of powers, why would her parents try to find someone who was specialized in unique powers or some sort of unique abilities, try to help Elsa to train her powers, even though she was still very young? Because after the accident, after she managed to freeze her sister's head by accident, she had to keep insulated from her sister most of the time. So why wouldn't they try to find someone at least help Elsa to train and at least find out this ability? But it turns out that was not the case here. But also the question had to be asked, from which side of the family did she get the powers from? And did this power have any sort of kind of purpose in the future? Because except that she on purpose frozen, sorry, not that part of it, but she froze the entire kingdom. But that was not unintentional. But at least we know that she could thaw the ice in the entire kingdom. After that, her sister was once sacrificed to save her from Hans. But now, 3 years later after the first event in the movie, Queen Elsa, her sister Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven, the reindeer, had to embark for a new journey beyond the homeland of Arendelle in order to discover the origin of her ice powers and to save the kingdom. So, that is the only information we have so far about what's going to happen in this particular movie. And this was actually the very first thriller they actually released as an official one. The first one we saw only about a year ago was only a teaser. We didn't see much about what's going to happen, except that we saw Elsa running from the beach onto the ocean, trying to ride or at least run over a big wave. But it turns out that nothing didn't seem to be working. And then she encountered this kind of looks like a horse in the middle of the ocean. But that actually reminds me, in the first movie we can see some sort of this figurine, or at least shape of a horse, when the troll's king, or the troll leader, helped Elsa in order to find out the truth about her powers. But in this thriller, we're seeing the same thing again, and now this figure in the ocean. So even if that is true, and even seeing the troll leader back again, saying that they had to embark to a land of the unknown in order to say something. So the question is, What if that Elsa was born with these powers to fulfill an ancient prophecy? Let's see why I may think about that. Since in this movie they were to embark on a mission or journey from the homeland, their kingdom, Arendelle, to somewhere unknown. In the trailer we see that in talking about a magical realm or something magical place, and that Elsa had to place her hand middle of the air on some sort of clouds, and they open some sort of pathway for her and her sister and her companies through it, and they close behind them. But in this, for only for a few moments there, we can see some stones with some carvings on it. Could this mean that Elsa and her friends are finally finding a place where what the origin of her powers came from? Since she was born with those powers. But the question to be asked here, why was she born with these powers? And the most question here, in the first movie, we see in the dungeon there are some special designed handcuffs, or at least covering the hands for Elsa. It turns out her parents must have been doing so, have made those especially for Elsa in case if her powers get out of control. But I don't think that would ever even help, because if it was made of metal and she can actually make ice with her hands, and that she loses control of it, it could literally frozen the metal and probably could just smash into a wall and smash it in pieces. But not more than that. But in this particular movie, what if that Elsa was born with this particular power? Because let's say that no one else in her family line never had any magical powers at all, and that she was actually born with this power, particularly for one an ancient purpose. What if that she had to fulfill an ancient prophecy, going to a distant northern land to save the kingdom and save her family? What if her parents were still alive? They probably would have helped her, and they probably already know about what's going to happen about their daughter, that something, perhaps maybe they know something about this prophecy and was hoping that Elsa could train this ability so she can control it and later go on to and complete this prophecy. But if they even have no clue about this prophecy, what if the troll leader is the only one who knows about this particular prophecy? That they had to go to this particular place in order to fulfill the prophecy, in order to save Arendelle, the kingdom, and many others. What if there's some, but also this, even to find a way to find the origin, why she has these ice powers, and also perhaps to fulfill an ancient prophecy by stopping something that has been dormant or perhaps in sleep for a long time. Perhaps it could be in, let's say, some an ancient wizard or witch has been awakened and has been put to sleep by someone else centuries ago, perhaps even millennia ago, by some mysterious powers, and keep her safe. And after that, the witch or the wizard made a prophecy. One day, another one with the special powers will rise and stop and vanquished this evil force forever. And that means the special person could mean Elsa, and that she has to go to this mystical place in order to do so, to stop this evil force to do any particular harm, but also to find out that why she had these particular ice powers, that perhaps this wizard or witch made this prophecy and perhaps could have been an ancestor to Elsa and Anna, but or that this particular person had been written this prophecy, and when it passed away, this spirit perhaps searched through the land in order to find this particular person, a special one to be chosen and destined to destroy this evil force. What if this spirit found Elsa and decided she could be the chosen one and used and marks with her before she was even born and gave her the powers, and that she was born later on she is showing signs of this ice powers and the rest of the story. But even if we know for sure that at least that she has to go on this journey, and also to doing so to save Arendelle, her family, her friends, but also to discover the origin of her ice powers. Exactly what the kind of origin what gives her the powers in the first place, we don't know much about it. Perhaps then we can see more about another thriller perhaps in a few months, since the movie itself has premiere in November this year. November 22nd for exact. So what else can I say about this movie itself? Well, I was actually very intrigued to seeing Elsa and her sister with Anna's boyfriend or fiancé, Kristoff, with Olaf and Sven going on this embarked mission to find a way to save their kingdom and also to find why Elsa had his powers. But I'm also curious, what if that particular horse that she found in the ocean or encountered could have something to do with this? Unfortunately, there isn't much information you can go on in this particular movie or in this particular thriller about Elsa and her friends in Frozen 2. But what if this could be a continuation of a franchise? What if they decide to make a Frozen 3 and 4, or perhaps even a TV series based on the Frozen series? Who knows? But otherwise, I know not much about this, even like I would talk about this particular topic more detailed, but sorry, but I can't, since I'm lack of much of information about this. But if there's going to be some sort of an ancient prophecy in this movie, that would be amazing plot of storyline. I mean, you have to give that as a thought. Why would they suddenly just leave Arendelle and go to this secret mystical place in North, and also to find out why she has his ice powers? There must be, I think, there should be something more adventures. Just like they travel to a mystical place in order to save their home. But for what exactly? Since they had to save their home, and to find out why Elsa had these ice powers. I know there isn't much you could say much about it, since it isn't much to go on this in details, since the thriller doesn't even provide us with much information. But there's only speculation about why suddenly they had to go on this journey. But what if that Elsa had to fulfill this ancient prophecy, stopping in some sort of evil force in order to save herself and her family and friends, and also the rest of Erin, and perhaps even the world? So, otherwise in this, I have no idea what's going to happen. But if that is going to be some sort of an ancient prophecy that Elsa had to take part of to complete it in order to stop an ancient force, that would be an amazing story. I mean, in the first one we have not much information in the first movie, it wasn't that much of an adventure is in the second one. But I can also say one thing as what happened. Hans, Prince Hans, is coming back in second movie. And for exactly what part and what his role is going to be, I'm not much sure about it. Since in the first one, he's revealed to be selfish maniac, only thinking about himself and that he wants to have a kingdom of his own. After that Elsa was gone and that he could marry Anna and that he can rule the kingdom with her, since basically he has 12 older brothers back home. So after his finally act was revealed to the both sisters and that he had to go back home, I doubt they were ever, even if they ran into him all this travel, I probably doubt they would ever trust him or even believe anything he says to be even to be a lie or truth. But even if he do return, could that he actually had some more big parts in the movie itself, like the first one, or could that he returns back in sort of flashbacks or well, some sort of memories, see in a mist when they're walking through this storm, this fog or something, seeing images forming around them, like from the past, like their parents, Hans, and many other things. But who knows? All I want to say is I really wait to see this movie itself. I know there are so many fans out there who really love this movie. And I have to agree. First movie was actually very decent good. But I have to say more about that. I can't wait to see the sequel, Frozen 2. I can't wait to see where you throw at. Well, everyone, if you have your own opinions, your thoughts of what's going to happen in Frozen 2, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is SwitchW over and out.